Good morning, beautiful people. It's Valet Delroy. This morning we're going to start a talk called Living in Forward Motion. 4 things for the journey, okay? These are 4 stages that are going to help you keep moving when you're feeling stuck. I figured since I'm talking about moving this morning, since I'm talking about not being stuck, getting out of a place of being stuck, that I'd come out here and move a little bit, go for a little walk, and have a quick little talk with you guys, all right? It's from Living to Be Known, which is a brand that I started to just help people take control of their own story and narrative, and just encourage and remind people, you know what I'm saying, that the story that's going to be told is in your control. You have control of how other people see you, other people perceive you, because you're in control of yourself. Anyway, let's get started, okay? So this is the first talk on the series Living in Forward Motion. And this is the first stage you're going to find yourself in, that I find most people in. And I wanted to talk about that. This is the stage of prototype, okay? What is the stage of prototype? The stage of prototype is typically the first stage and the stage that most people, I feel, get stuck in. Excuse me. And sometimes people even come out of the first stage into the second stage and then revert back to the first stage and find themselves stuck there. What is a prototype? A prototype is a first type. It's almost like a pre-model, okay? It's a version of the thing you're trying to perfect, almost. Not even that you'll perfect it, but that you're trying to put into a functionable, you're trying to create something that's functionable, something that's real, something that's tangible, something that moves, something that does what it's supposed to. In this case, it will be our lives. So we all have social media. So we typically all find ourselves looking, seeing, viewing, and having access to different types of lifestyles, people, ideas, whatever that might be. You'll find your prototype. You're looking for your prototype. You have various types of influences that surround you, and you're choosing. You're looking for the thing that influences you the most. So, a lot of people will say, well, I'm looking for happiness, and they're feeling stuck. They just can't seem to get happy. Or they're looking for more money and they're just stuck. They can't find the next opportunity, the next business, the next job. They don't start it. They don't pursue it. They don't change. And they're feeling stuck, but the desire is there because they've seen it, they witness it, they're reaching for it, they have a vision of it, and this is our prototype. And prototype phase is a scary phase because you're looking at someone else. You're not looking at yourself going, well, I'm my own prototype, right? We're looking at our parents, we're looking at other people, we're looking at, for instance, runners, right? I want to be able to get up and run in the morning. I want to run this many miles. I want to be this fit. I want to be this healthy. So you have to start with a prototype. You see other people running. You know other people running. You start watching a YouTube page. You start getting encouragement, right? Before you even start or try. And sometimes that can be highly overwhelming. Highly overwhelming. And so what that does is it paralyzes us. It puts us into a state mentally, physically, emotionally, and other sorts that keep us, right, from taking a step, right? We stay locked up in our desires, searching, looking for the method that's going to give us the results that we hope to bear. The problem with that is that when we're looking at our prototype, sometimes we try to match that to the point that we think we're going to have the same results they have. And this is not the goal of the first phase, okay? And this might be why you're stuck. The first phase being the prototype phase. But you do need a prototype, okay? You do need a prototype. And what that prototype does is it gives you vision, it gives you imagination, it gives you opportunity that's going to spur you to the possibilities, right, of what can be done, especially for yourself. And so you need to find a prototype, but not just any prototype, right? Don't just be on social media going on looking from person to person, thing to thing, thing to thing, because it doesn't actually help you focus. You need to find a practical example. And when I say practical, that means something that you can do, something you believe you can do, something that you can copy, okay? Something that's not perfect, but something that's completed, something that's accomplished. So if it came to running, you want to find somebody who has a stage 1 and follow that example for your prototype and follow it thoroughly, okay? Study that person, examine what they examine, look into the mindset, because the prototype is just the first version, it's just the first example, and it gives you an opportunity to take your first step, okay? But it must be practical, it must be real, it must make sense. You're not finding a prototype for the result, okay? You're finding a prototype for a practical example, a practical step, typically a first step, right? You don't get to $1 million, okay, just out the gate. Well, most people don't. You have to build up, work your way, find your way to that million. And there are various types of methods to get there, but you need a place to start. You need a prototype. You need to start at step 1, okay? Your prototype is your most practical example of something that you can copy, okay? And you need to be able to copy, okay? Because it's important. As creatures of habits who are influenced by other things, you didn't learn how to talk on your own. You didn't learn how to do anything. You learned how to do on your own. You either copied or were taught, or you mimicked somebody else in some way until you figured out how to do it on your own. And this is not about perfection. This is simply about motion. This is simply about moving. This is simply about getting started. So let me encourage you that when you're trying to live in forward motion, okay, and not be stuck, the first thing you must do is find a prototype, something to look at, something to examine, something you can copy and try, so you're not stuck. This is the first thing you should do. Find you a prototype. Don't try to do it on your own. Don't try to make it up on your own. You can do that if you're that genius. But if you're not that genius, okay, in that sense, in that way, then don't be afraid to do what we've all done our whole lives, right? Find a prototype, some type of version that we can copy to get us started, to get us moving, okay? So that we don't feel stuck. And this is just the first stage, so don't feel like you need to do this and then it's complete and now what do I do next? Like, take your time, be patient with yourself, because we're going somewhere, okay? This ain't telepathic, this ain't Star Trek. You can't just get beamed up like Scotty and end up from here to there, okay? Everything is progressional, everything is processional, and this is a process. So I appreciate you, love you guys. Hopefully I said something to encourage you or stir your thought or get you started, okay? I try not to get into a whole lot of details and go into long ramblings, because all of our situations are different. Your situation is different, and your prototype might need to look different than my prototype, okay? But we all need somewhere to start. I'm Valet Delroy. This is Ride with the Valet. You can live to be known, okay? You can be in control of how this story goes. You might not be in control of how it ends, but what people see, what people say, what you show, what you tell, what you do is going to all be up to you, okay? Much love to you. respect, appreciation. You know what I'm saying? Get you a sweater or something. Check me out. Check out the music. I got a lot of things coming. I just need to work on my organization. And like I said, I have some prototypes that I'm studying from right now that are really helping me to put things in order. And it makes things easier for me. And then I come in, I can give some to you, and then you could give some to another. And this is how the influence grows. Whew, so cold outside, man. You know, making videos is really hard. You never get to say everything you want to say unless you start like a podcast where you're talking for an hour and then you can just kind of go on and go on and go on. But I just want you guys to know that I try to keep it to the point, and I'm going to be trying to do that for all the videos. So if you made it this far, thank you. I appreciate you. And don't be afraid to talk back to me. I'll talk back. I'm not afraid of you. Don't be afraid of me. This is for all of us to live and learn and grow and live in forward motion. You know what I'm talking about? You can take what's in your mind, make it tangible, okay, valuable for yourself and others. All you have to do is believe, be willing, get to work. Okay? Be great today. Love y'all, appreciate y'all. Rock the ballet. All right, that's enough talking. I'll see you on the next video.